Hey YouTube, this is Tom the Prepper One. It's Friday morning. I think it's a little bit before 7 o'clock. It's not raining, which is great. We hit a bridge locally here just a few miles away. Did some damage underneath the bridge, so they actually physically had to close the bridge down because it's unsafe. So we've had tons of rain, but at least we're not in a drought. My last video, about 48 hours ago, I talked about the national debt for just a split second, because I love looking at it, and I'll leave the link to it. I've mentioned it many times. The U.S. debt, like 48 hours ago, was 32 trillion, 36 billion, and then some change. I looked this morning, and the numbers are 32 trillion, 111 billion. So that's about $75 billion in the last 48 hours that we've gone further into debt. The cool thing about that site is, I'm going to put the link there, go check it out. You can go 4 years advance. So on this day, 4 years from now, at the current rate of spending, our debt will be $43.2 trillion. Yes, it's just numbers, but eventually those numbers catch up with us. And the world right now is saying, we're looking for something else. The dollar is not safe. The dollar is fiat. So we will be seeing in the next month or two more countries moving away from the dollar. And every time one country moves away from the dollar, it just creates more inflation for us, because those dollars overseas are going to be coming home, chasing products, creating more inflation. Some people say, Dave, we haven't crashed now, and you know we're $32 trillion in debt. We can just go up to 64, double that again. No, we can't. Eventually, it's like a balloon. You can blow that balloon up and blow it up. Eventually, when you keep putting air in it, it just gets bigger and bigger, but eventually it pops, and that's what will happen to our economy. So I'm trying to motivate you. I'm not really wanting to scare you, but if you need to be scared to prepare financially to get your house in order, then I'll do it. Now, this doesn't mean going out and going crazy. It means trying to stay out of debt, trying to pay your debts off. People say, Dave, why should I pay my debts off? You're saying it's going to crash. We don't know when it's going to crash. And if you want to live and have a better quality of life, don't be in debt. That's just the bottom line. You'll sleep better at night. I know there's a lot of people suffering. People text me, call me, and I wish I could help them all. I can't help them all. I have a few charities I deal with here that I know that my money is used wisely. But lately there's been a huge demand for people to talk to me, because they're having so many financial problems, and my heart breaks for them. So I know people are stressed to the max, but if you have the ability to prepare financially to get out of debt, do it. Don't think, well, I'm just going to use my credit cards, buy all this survival gear. I don't recommend that. I think you're going to sleep better when you hit the pillow, when you know you're debt-free, or at least everything paid off other than your mortgage. A lot of people can do that. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take not having instant gratification. When you see that new dress, or you see that new tool, you see that something you want, it's like, oh, I got to have that. You're going to have a goal. So I'm urging you, these politicians are out of control. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, I don't care who they are. Even Trump ran the debt up by trillions. Bush, Clinton, everyone likes to spend money. So it's not just one side. And right now they're spending a lot of money. They're bringing a lot of people into this country that we can't even take care of the people that we have. They're sending a lot of stuff overseas to Ukraine. They're positioning us for potential conflict with Russia, with China. It's looking more and more, though, like Taiwan might go back to China because the people want to. If you look at the polls over there, a lot of people do want to return to China. So if that's the case, it'd be a peaceful transition. What would that do to us financially? What would that do to us because of the semiconductors and the chips? So The government is out of control spending. You are going to bear the brunt of that, so you have to prepare as best you can. $75 billion added to the debt in 48 hours since my last video. Do the best you can. Work as hard as you can. Position yourself so you can be more self-sufficient. If it's just a 20 by 20 garden space in your backyard that you can produce a little bit of food. If you can produce 5% of the food you need, 10% of the food you need, that's a start. Nate's still gone training, and I'm seeing more and more videos of the footage. It's insane. The footage of those armored vehicles, the motorized artillery being moved. Oh, I saw some great ones, not on YouTube, but on all the other platforms. People saying, look, look, look. I want to repeat it again. Those vehicles were being moved from an armory to a training facility that they do all the time. If you've never loaded one of those big pieces of equipment on a semi, it takes a lot of time. It's got to be strapped down. It's not an easy thing. So for them, it's easier to drive alongside the road, get to their training facility, and then come back that way. So if I see one more video saying, oh, look, the government's out to get us because of that video, I'm going to scream. And this is coming from people that live there, that pass this place all the time, that see these vehicles. The only thing they said that was unusual with the last video was usually they try to schedule their movements during the early morning, I guess, to limit, you know, the problems with people going to work or coming home. So that was the only thing. A little bit different time. But I can understand that if you're doing a training exercise and you're done for your training exercise, yes, you're going to take them back to the house. And probably this one was the longer one. This was probably their couple-week one in the field. So, Republicans, Democrats, us common folks that go to work every day, that bust it, we are being screwed royally by our politicians. They are spending money beyond human comprehension. Now, these guys are educated. They can't be just doing this by accident. This has to be a planned. It's got to be a planned way of destroying us, destroying the dollar. Now, when you go with a fiat currency that's backed by nothing, you have to keep greasing the wheels. And greasing the wheels is printing more money. If you don't, the train's going to fall off the track. So I think we're in a position that we have to keep doing this, but the end result is a train crash that's worse. I hope you're preparing, and I'm not trying to scare you. I hope you're preparing for a long-term depression. That's going to involve getting self-sufficient. If you're in the suburbs, do what you can. Plant some blueberries today. Go out and plant some blueberries. Start talking with your friends, your good friends, your family, saying, hey, between the three of us, there's no way we can pay off our mortgage. Maybe we need to do something. Maybe we need to go out and buy an acre or two, so at least we can build a shack. We can put a tent up. Right now, we got a lot of government programs that help a lot of people. But if you look at California, and the videos coming out of there, people living in RVs along the roads, people living in tents. Don't think that can't happen to you. One layoff slip given to you, one serious accident, one serious illness, maybe a cancer pops up in your family that could devastate you financially. We're all right there. That's what breaks my heart when people contact me and I can't help them. So, your goal, how can I get self-sufficient? You don't have to be 100% self-sufficient. Just try for 5%. Let's go 5% in the next 6 months where I can grow some food, do this, put a rain catchment system in, be able to filter that water. Thanks for watching.